Aloha, everybody, and welcome back to Part 8 of Crash Twinsanity. Before I move on with the rest of the playthrough, though, I have to settle something with one of my online friends. I understand being a Canadian, sometimes I have a weird dialect, a weird accent to me, but the word house. Like, people live in a house. I live in a house. 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 I'm saying the word house. Am I saying that weird, or am I doing it correctly? Because I don't think I'm saying it wrong, but my friend insists I am, and that I have a weird Canadian pronunciation of house. It's house! 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 Anywho, welcome to Classroom Chaos. We are now deep into the Academy of Evil, and there's a lot of fancy portraits. Once again, I like stopping and taking a look at all the decor that is in this place. And, oh boy, we got some stealth sections, and look at that movement. Oh, good motion capture. Okay, so basically, you have to hide behind all of the bookcases, the lockers, and when there's like little small things that are only like chest high, you have to crouch under them, because if you're standing up and your head is clearly exposed, well then you're gonna get killed by a whole bunch of paper airplanes. Because these aren't tribal people, so they don't have spears. Now they have paper airplanes that kill Crash. I guess he gets a paper cut to death? I don't know. But the reason the motion of Crash, he just sort of slid across the floor when that sequence started. Whenever the sequence starts, if you hold up immediately after that cutscene ends, you can just slide across, because I don't know, for some reason it doesn't register that Crash is supposed to do his running animation if you hold up after that cutscene. So I like doing that every time I'm here. It works 100% of the time, and why not? I like sliding around. There's only like 3 of those moments in this school, so it's not like this is a big stealth moment. I would actually say the dodging Papu Papu's tribes people was actually a harder thing, because you were actually jumping into boats, and you had to set off TNT, and you do have to hit like these switches to explode Nitro right next to the hall monitor guy, but he has a big delay. He has a big wind-up before he starts aiming with his flashlight. Like, you could probably walk like most of the way, if not the whole way, before he actually shines his light for the first time. So I probably could have hit that switch if I was really fast, and I bet speedrunners really hit that switch really quickly. Well, actually, if I know speedrunners, they've probably figured out a way to skip this section completely. I just watched a Crash Twinsanity playthrough, a speedrun, I should say, where they actually, like, jumped onto the mountain, and they completely skipped out on, like, the Crash Cortex cavern section, and having to do any of the Papu Papu stuff. They just immediately got right to the totem boss, and then right to Cortex's island, where they completely skipped most of Cortex's island by skipping to Engine's tanker ship. And there's a lot of fun jumping on mountain, clipping the boundaries kind of bullshit you can do in Crash Twinsanity, because I know this game is quite glitchy, and a lot of people have found tons of glitches with the game. But on a casual playthrough, I would say I don't really run into too much, you know. I mean, we had Uka Uka earlier, and but I don't find I have too many glitchy experiences with this game. There's some, but not too many. Anyway, with this particular tower, the acid is rising, and that means you have to get a move on, and you have to keep moving and moving and moving and climbing and climbing and climbing. But this is the kind of platforming I love, man. I love this kind of platforming. I love just this constant move. Jump over every nitro box, every crumbling floorboard. Just gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. Platform, platform, platform. This is one of the reasons I think Crash Twinsanity, beyond its humor with Dr. Cortex, beyond like the sense of humor that the game has, this is a really fun game to play. I love the platforming in Crash Twinsanity, and I find this so much more satisfying than so many of the gimmicks that Wrath of Cortex had, as well as the bad load times and stuff. But I know I played the early PS2 version, but still. I really should play an updated version to see if I enjoy the game a little bit better, but yeah.
I'll take it from here. Get back to the airship. Make sure its mooring ropes are secure. What have I got?
But now, folks, we're back to that thing we got a sneak preview of in the last part, because we are going to be playing as Dr. Nina Cortex, and we're in a chase section right off the bat, so you better get used to him quick. Now, the thing that makes these chases kind of annoying is that there's nitro boxes and TNT all over, and because Cortex has a blaster gun and you see the little cursors show up on things that you're running towards, you might be encouraged to just shoot when you're constantly running down the pathway, but I would actually recommend against that, and that's why I'm not shooting too much unless I see, like, an obvious box. Cortex is not great at jumping, so it's better to shoot metal boxes out of your way if you come up to them. But the reason I don't shoot too much when I'm in those run towards the camera sequences is because it's really easy to trigger a TNT or nitro box to just go off when you didn't really mean to. And again, doesn't matter how many Uka masks you have, that will be instant kill if you touch nitro explosions or TNT explosions, so you really gotta be careful. And yeah, Uka is our mask for this particular section, which makes sense. Cortex is the bad guy, Uka's his master. Why wouldn't Uka help him? It's one of the things I liked about Crash Team Racing, was like, Crash Team Racing had like the story mode thing. Well, it also had like the invincibility, like, it's like the star box in the races itself. You pick up an Aku mask, you're invincible for a short period of time, but also you ring the bell, and all the kids trample that janitor guy so you can get past. It's nighttime. I would figure school's out and that kids wouldn't be learning, but then again, maybe it's just perpetually night all the time. I don't know. But Crash Team Racing, if you played as Crash Bandicoot in the story mode, Aku would explain how the world map and stuff worked for you. But if you played as Cortex or any of the other baddies, then Uka would explain how the world map worked for you and everything. And you know me, whenever I play these kinds of games, I'm usually always the villain, unless one of the heroes is one of the coolest, funniest characters or whatever. If I play Crash Team Racing, I'm probably Cortex. Or Crash Nitro Kart, I'm probably Cortex. But yeah, with this section, you do have limited ammo, as you can see on the bottom right. You can only hold 99 shots. Cortex also has the ability to do a charge shot.
Not a charge shot!
Yes, Vile, a charge shot. And he also has the ability to slide, which I don't know what the purpose of that move is, because it's not like Crash's slide, where you can do like a slide jump. He just sort of slides on his head. I guess he gets a little bit extra speed, so maybe you can dodge something? Maybe? I don't know. But I don't really use the charge shot all that much. For one, it wastes 5 bullets of the gun, and for another thing, because the enemies are so erratic and they're bouncing around all over the place, and the lock-on's not really that reliable, I would say Shadow the Hedgehog, the video game, Shadow the Hedgehog is a better lock-on system than Cortex does in Twinsanity, so be prepared to miss some of your shots. Be sure you have a little bit of distance between you and the mice with the magnets for heads. I don't know what's going on with the Academy of Evil. It's very odd. It's very weird. And apparently this is where Cortex became an evil scientist. We're getting a lot of good backstory about Cortex in this game. We understand he has a mother who works in a burlesque show. Mother? We know that he has a niece, and that's who we're here to pick up. We're looking for Nina Cortex. Those bugs will not kill you in one hit, though. This is a chase sequence. They will damage you if they catch up. And there's another move you can do. You can jump and push circle in order to shoot a big blast underneath you, and that actually kills some of the bugs that are chasing you, but not all, and they will eventually come back after a while, so don't focus on wasting all your ammo to kill the bugs. Just keep moving. But, yeah, the bugs will not kill you in one hit. They're not like Rusty the Walrus in the tanker level. If you get hit by the bugs, you'll only take damage. And if you have 2 Aku or Uka masks, then you can sustain 2 bug hits, and that'll be pretty good. But you have the ability to scatter them with a big ground pound wave shot. And don't shoot the Nitro, don't shoot the TNT. I don't find it too bad as long as you just know that restraint is good, Dr. Cortex. Restraint is good. I think I'm going to show off a charge Yeah, there's a charge shot. There's the charge shot, in case you were curious. And there's Cortex's slide. I don't know what use it is. Because you just sort of stop for a little bit, and it's like, well, it'd be better if I just kept moving, wouldn't it? I don't know. Either way, anytime you see the janitors, just make sure that you hit one of the nearby bells so that the students of the Academy of Evil can run right through them. I assume the janitors are one-hit kill, but I never really got killed by him in any of my test playthroughs. And booyah! I got all 6 of the Chaos Emeralds here in Classroom Chaos. Yeah, I know what I called them. Anywho, time to find Cortex's niece.
Sleep soundly, Nina, and don't fear the night, with its long claws that scratch and its sharp teeth that bite. Under the covers, there's no need to hide, for your uncle's the monster, and he's on your side! Nina, my adorable young niece. My, you're getting big and sneaky. Put her there, little lady. I see they need some adjustment. Let me take a look. Okay, young lady, let's see what you've learned.
And so, folks, we have a third playable character because we are now going to play as Nina Cortex. This is her debut game. I think I remember reading that she actually appeared in a GBA game before this one, but this is technically her first appearance anyway. I might be wrong about that. Again, I'm not a Crash Bandicoot expert. I may have gotten that wrong, but I'll pretend this is her first ever appearance because I think that makes sense. But, Nina Cortex is actually a character who would return for the rest of the Crash series beyond Twinsanity. She would be back for Crash Tag Team Racing, Crash of the Titans, Crash Mind Over Mutant. So Nina Cortex was here to stay, and Twinsanity, she doesn't really have a personality. She doesn't really start having a voice and a personality until the other games, because she doesn't really talk all that much in Twinsanity. I think she does have voice clips. I think she has, like, grunts and stuff.
My airship! Without it, we're stranded! Tie it to something secure, I said! Hurry, Nina, or you'll miss the bus!
And Crash Bandicoot, for some reason, tied a bus to the blimp. Okay. Why'd you even send him in the first place? Oy. But Nina does not really have a personality. She just has sort of grunts and voice clips. But otherwise, most of the time she's just mute. So, yeah. And I really like that scene when Cortex was approaching Nina and he's like, "There's no reason to hide, for your uncle's the monster and he's on your side!" I like that. I actually like that line quite a bit. But, yeah, folks. So this is Nina. Those rats knocked me off. God damn it. So she has this grapple arm, and she uses it to latch onto grapple points and get from place to place. And sometimes you just find one lone gargoyle, and it, like, flings you across the roof, which is so damn fun. And, honestly, it reminds me so much of Sonic Forces, because that game came out recently, and yes, the grapple arm has more gameplay going on than the grappling in Sonic Forces. Oh, I know, it burns. I'm a jerk. But, she also has the spin move, just like Crash Bandicoot. It's pretty much the same damage as Crash would do. But she doesn't have a double jump. That's one thing that Crash still has, but Nina does not. So she can spin into people like Crash. She has a grapple arm, which is impervious to explosions, by the way. So if you want to, like, set off Nitro boxes, if you want to set off TNT boxes, it's actually a good idea to launch your arm at those boxes, because the arm won't get damaged by it, you won't get hurt by it, but you'll set them off and blow them up, and that's pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. I didn't even know you could die because of fall damage in this game. At least, apparently Nina can, because I don't know why I died there. I'm pretty sure I fell from a height that big last time earlier in this video, but I guess that killed me this time. Whatever. It's not as simple as just, like, holding the circle button in order to launch to a grapple point. You do have to press it when the green icon shows up on screen. So sometimes what I would do is I would just, like, if I want to make sure that I definitely, absolutely get the grapple point, I will mash the circle button while Nina is jumping from grapple point to grapple point, so I'm mashing circle as this is happening just to make sure, because I can't really hold the circle button and then it just happens, you know? Because there are some games that are like that. I can't think of any examples off the top of my head, but I do know that there are games where, like, as long as you just kind of hold the grapple button, it just sort of happens, you know? I know there's a game like that. What the hell is it? It's on the tip of my tongue. I feel like I might have Let's Played it, which... But that doesn't narrow it down for me. Whatever. The point is, she has a grapple arm, and, yeah, she spins, she grapples, she can't double jump, so you really have to make sure that your platforming counts. There are some jumps from rooftop to rooftop that are pretty tight, and you do have to jump really at the edge of the roof in order to make that jump, so, yeah. Otherwise, this section's not too bad. They have a lot, and I mean a lot, of Uka masks that they're dropping all over the place. They're constantly dropping in those ant warriors with the stun batons, the lightsabers, but they also have ant warriors who don't have the lightsaber stun baton things, and those guys actually die in one hit. So, like, if you see ones with stun batons, 2 hits to kill them, or just knock them off the roof. But if you see ones without a lightsaber, you know that you can kill them in 1 hit, so you can move and focus on the other enemies that are surrounding you once you have that knowledge, you know. And you'll still be kind of, sort of, maybe invincible if you pick up 3 Uka masks. So, maybe that'll help you, but in Twinsanity, it's not the most reliable thing, so, don't count on it to help you too much. Don't count on it too much. Like, I'm wearing it now, and maybe these guys will hit me and I won't take damage, but I don't know. Also, the other thing that kind of sucks about Crash Twinsanity, we're getting introduced to Nina Cortex for this gameplay section. And this is kind of the only gameplay section she has, aside from, like, the final boss fight of the game. Yeah, really. After this point, we're going to be going right to the 10th dimension, right to the final area of the game, taking the fight to the evil twins. And we don't really play Nina again until the final boss fight, so this is like the only time we get to play as Nina. So if you're not big on her grappling gameplay, well, it only happens for 1 scene, and then you don't really have to worry about it until the very, very end of the game. So, yeah. Once again, this game was rushed. I don't know where people find the information about all the content, all the ideas that they have. I actually looked up, like, the Crash Bandicoot wikis and stuff, and they had a little bit of information. They had a little bit of details, but, I don't know. I feel like there are other places with much more information that I don't know about. And here comes the bus. We got ourselves another chase sequence, and this is probably going to be trial and error, if only because there's a lot of metal boxes and Nitro that Nina cannot spin through, or if she does spin into them, she dies. And, you know, it's a little tricky. You have to hit these exclamation boxes along the way. You have to hit TNT switches along the way so that they'll destroy all the TNT on the way. And you just gotta keep moving and moving and moving, and don't let anything slow you down, because that bus can catch up ridiculously quickly if you let it. And you can knock those ants into all those TNT and Nitros, or you can use your arm in case they die and fall off the roof or whatever. But you need to activate that switch so we can get the last gem of this particular area. So bounce and click, and I got it. Out of my way, ant jerk-ass. So that's all 6 of the colored gems of Rooftop Rampage. Booyah. I like all these Sonic the Hedgehog-esque names for all the levels. Not that Crash Bandicoot didn't have very similar names in the original Naughty Dog trilogy or whatever, but, still.
They found us! To the airship! Quickly!
Goodbye, Nina. Now we're back to Big Bad Cortex, and we only have 1 bullet. Oh, God! Well, don't worry, we won't need to worry about ammo for our upcoming boss fight.
You are in detention.
Madam Amberly,
So, Crybaby Cortex is all grown up. I see you found employment as a barber.
I'm an evil scientist.
A scientist, Harvey. To me, you'll always be a little worm.
Alrighty, so Madam Amberly has, I guess, Force Lightning. Only now, at the end, do you understand. But you're on top of these organs, right? This organ. And she shocks the parts, and then steam comes out. And you can actually fall in between the opening, by the way, and fall into the bottomless pit and then die. And there's a weird checkpoint thing going on with Madame Amberly, because I did not hit a checkpoint box going into this fight, and there isn't one when the fight starts off. So when you die, you go back to a previous checkpoint with Nina Cortex, and then you actually have to go across some rooftops, get to Cortex, and then get back to this boss fight. So if you die in this fight a few times, you have to replay that Nina section over and over again, and that's just kind of dumb. But Dingodile had a checkpoint. I don't know why this boss fight doesn't. But what I always do is I always start from like the very left or the very right of the screen. She'll always shock where you are. And the organs will actually close after a while. You can shoot them closed, and especially you have to do that if you want to get across when you're getting chased by lightning and stuff. But you can wait for them to close, or you can close it yourself. And I just feel like going left to right, left to right, left to right every time she almost shoots for you again. It's really easy. Just do what I'm doing, and you'll dodge all of her electric attacks, no problem. Then she sends the bells at you. You have to destroy all the bells with the lock-on. And then she'll turn around and you just shoot her little back battery pack thing. I don't know what the hell that is on her back, but once you shoot that 3 times, well, that's it for our dear old Madam Amberly. Bye-bye, teacher. I'm so good. And I got 99 bullets. Oh yeah, and during that entire boss fight, I had unlimited ammo. So, because I guess it would be pretty hard without it.
Come along!
And now we're back with Crash, and we have returned to the opening area of the Academy of Evil. So we're right back where the fountain is, and as you remember, we got 5 gems here, but not 6 gems. So, make a left, you'll hit this TNT switch, which will destroy all of these Nitro boxes in the air. And now we have this little platform that will let us get onto those transparent blocks as soon as we activate this little Nitro switch over here. Booyah! Just slide into the soccer ball. And then you take the elevator platform back, jump on the blocks from there, and now we've gotten every single gem in the Academy of Evil. Like I said in the last part, if you notice the footage of this part, the gems are pretty obvious. Most of them were just in the hallway, visible as day. You can't really miss them. I think the Academy of Evil has some pretty obvious gems, if I do say so myself. But booyah, folks! We're done with this area. We're done with the Academy of Evil. We got all 24 gems that are here. And now we're close to the very end of the whole entire game, because we have what we need to go to the 10th dimension. We have the 6 power crystals, and then some. I don't know why we keep picking up more power crystals. It's not like you can dodge them anyway. But we have 6 power crystals. We have Cortex's niece, who can fix up the Psychotron. So, let's end this. Let's take on the evil twins in Part 9.